Greetings, Sandite friends, YouTube friends. I hope you're having a good day. I wanted to do a quick video of getting back to the basics. Here we are at the beginning of the school year in Sector 6, 6th grade center. I'm noticing this year, as I have in past years, that it seems like the students are just struggling with the basics. And what I mean by the basics is just simple adding, subtracting, maybe a little more difficult multiplication facts, division, not so much right now because that's, some of them haven't even gone through that yet. So, but definitely multiplication facts. Learn them, practice them, study them, memorize them, dream about them, whatever it takes to get you to know your multiplication facts will go a long way in helping you with your math in the future. But what I'd like to do is just some really basic, simple stuff. And I know you're going to think it's silly and wow, it's old and we did that a long time ago, but share this video with maybe somebody that's younger. Tell them about it, explain the importance of it, and just basically what I'm doing is making a plea for you to help me out. If we can help some of the younger generation with some of this, it's just going to make life so much easier for them. Let's do something. Let's just play, and let's just play with some addition. So if I have, for instance, 327, and I want to add that to 486, and it just addition is all it is. So if we start from the right, and 7 plus 6, if sometimes I will kind of tap the paper to help me count, maybe 6 times or so. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. The 3 goes down and I carry the 1. So this might help you. There's nothing wrong with using your fingers. Just whatever it takes to help you, and to get the right answer. But I found, if I start off with the 7, the next number would be 8, and then I just tap 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and there's 6 little dots. So I put down the 3, which is the number to the right, and then I carry the 1 up here. So here I go 8, usually start with the bigger number, 8, there's 9, 10, and then 11 once I count the number I carried over. So I put down a 1 and I carry the 1. So here I go again. I start with the bigger number, 4. Next number would be 5, 6, 7, and the one I carried over would be 8. 813. This simple addition problem where you have to carry over a number. Now let's do one just to kind of keep this video short. Let's do a subtraction problem. And what I see probably most is probably people, the students, having trouble subtracting correctly. Like if they're in a multiplication problem, then they have to subtract and use subtraction quite a bit, and they're having trouble on what to do. So let's do this. Let's do 3, 4, 347, and let's subtract 229. So we're looking at, you know, a fairly good sized number here. But what I'd like for you to do is just kind of hesitate for just a second. Take a look at the number. See if any red flags come up. And what I mean by red flags is something comes out to me really quick, is that this bottom number 9 is bigger than the 7. So I can't take 9 from 7. It's just not possible. This top number needs to be bigger. So that's the first thing that kind of comes out and pops out to me. So what I'm going to do is take a big breath and get the oxygen flowing really good in my system and tackle this problem. So whenever you have a situation like this, what you want to do is come over to this next number, which is a number 4, and you're going to do what they refer to as a borrow. You're going to borrow 1. And so if you took 1 from 4, that would make it 3. So I'll put a 3 up there so I remember. And that 1 I'm going to put right there. So now I'm looking at 9 minus 17, which I can take 9 from 17 easily. So let's do that. Let's go 17. If you want to do the tap method, that's cool. Whatever you want to use your fingers, use your fingers. But if I start with 17 and I go 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, I end up with 8. So if I take 9 from 17, I get 8. Okay, so I'm going to put that right there. Okay, do your best to kind of keep things lined up, keep your numbers lined up. And I have terrible handwriting, have troubles writing sometimes, so that's a challenge of mine. But anyway, so carrying on, let's go to the next one. I can take 2 from 3 because 2 is smaller than 3, so I'll do that. If I take 2 from 3, that leaves me with 1. And same thing here, if 2 from 3 is 1. So so there's a problem that might create an issue because we had to borrow. Let's do a problem where we have to borrow twice. And see if I can get this problem down here in view. Let's see if I take like maybe 176 and I want to subtract let's say 98. Okay, so I hesitate, I pause for just a second, and I just take a look at it and see what I'm up against. I notice the red flag automatically, 8's larger than the 6, the 9 is larger than 7, so I'm going to have to do some borrowing. Not a big deal. Take a deep breath, get the oxygen going, and just get after it. So I can't take 8 from 6, so I'm going to borrow from the 7. So I'll mark out the 7 because I'm not going to be using the 7 anymore. And I'm taking away 1, which 1 from 7 would be 6. So I'm just going to put a 6 there so I'll remember. And that 1 that I borrowed, I'm going to put right here. So now I can easily take 8 from 16. So if you want to use the tap method, finger method again, whatever, you may know that 8 is half of 16. But if you don't, try my tap method. Tap your paper 8 times and see what happens. So if I start with 16, my first tap would be 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. So I end up in 8. I've got 8 little dots there. So I'm going to put an 8 right here. Okay, and again, I'm trying to keep everything lined up and straighten as much as I can. And whenever I examined the problem before I ever got started, I noticed that, you know, there were a couple numbers that I was going to have to borrow from. So here's the other one, 9 from 6. I can't do that. 9 is bigger than 6, or it's a larger number. So I'm going to go over here to the 1, and I'm going to borrow 1. So I'm going to change that to a 0 so that I'll remember. And then I'm going to put that 1 right here and make that a 16. Okay? Now I can easily take 9 from 16. If you want to use the tap method, start with the number 16. First tap would be 15. So 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. And then if I do 7, that would be 9 dots. I end up with 7. So 9 from 16 would be 7. So I'll put a 7 right there. And the 0 that I have left over here, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to I'm not going to put it down on the paper. I don't think your teacher would mind if you do or don't. I just choose not to. So there's that part. So before I just really bore you to tears, let me ask you to do another favor, especially for those of you who might be in 5th grade, 6th grade, maybe into 7th grade, is your organization on your paper. A play like this is your paper. A lot of you are writing really big, and maybe using a section of paper this big for one problem or 2 problems, and there's no organization in your paper. Do me a favor, and yourself a favor, get in the habit of writing small and organizing your problems. So I would say, like, this is problem number 1, and what I would do, just for an example, let's do a big number like 5,492. Okay, and it's a big number. Let's 3,365. Okay, big numbers, and don't wear it out. Don't make that into a problem, because just because there's a lot of numbers doesn't necessarily mean that the problem's going to be harder. So we're adding. So here we go. So 5. I'll tap the paper, and my next number is going to be 6. So we'll go 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to put a 7 there. There's 9. My next number is going to be 10. I'll tap 6 times. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There. I'm going to be sure and carry the 1. Remember the carry. Start with the bigger number, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the 1 I carried, 8. Okay. And then 5 plus 3 is 8, but 5, 6, 7, 8, 88, 57. Okay, so that's kind of neat. So what I would do for organization, I would do the second problem right here. Okay, and keep it nice and neat, everything lined up. That not only helps